Let me guess guys, you've tried probably every scalping strategy there is out there. You've probably chased the holy grail, you glued yourself to the lower time frames and all of that just to end up almost break even for the week or even at a loss. Does that sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that the secret to consistent profits isn't more complexity, it's actually less. I just made over $30,000 just in the last 30 days trading the same boring scalping pattern on repeat, and today I'm gonna give it to you guys for free. No fluff, no overcomplication, just the exact checklist I use to make consistent profits every single day from a scalping pattern. So let's dive right into it. And before you start screaming that this is another scam, here's my verified results. You can go over in the first link in the description and you can check all about me, my story, and the real results that I have, including trading a personal account for over a month, making $65,990. Before getting into the strategy, just want to say the harsh truth, which is that most scalpers lose because they're addicted to trading. They're jumping into every 1 minute, 5 minute candle, forcing trades and ignoring the one setup that actually works. And what was my breakthrough escaping that? Just realizing that boring is profitable. And this pattern that I'm gonna show you guys works because number one, it triggers at the same time every single day. Number two, it uses only two key trading concepts, so no overcomplicated stuff. And number three, it's a very mechanical process which should be easy for every beginner to apply. So here's exactly how this pattern works and how I trade it. I usually like to use this pattern on EURUSD, GBP/USD, but this works very good on the futures market as well. So Nasdaq or ES Mini, it works on every trading pair. So the concept that I'm gonna share to you guys today is the Asia range inducement trading setup, and that's just pretty easy to understand because it's all based around the Asia range and London open. The London trading session opens at 10 AM my time, which is UTC +3. So just search online when London session is starting for you guys. Now to mark my sessions, I use a custom indicator which is made for my students. This indicator automatically marks all the session time. So the blue right here is Asia session, orange is Frankfurt session, and green is London session, white is New York session. Our main focus for this specific scalping strategy is just gonna be these three sessions: Asia, Frankfurt, and London. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys one very clean example. The first thing that I'd like to do is go on the higher time frames, which is the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and identify the higher time frame bias. We need to identify the higher time frame bias just so we know which direction our most probable setups will have to go through. So basically, if our higher time frame is bullish, which in this case is true for EURUSD, we can see clearly daily time frame is heading up. We had a small retracement and now it's getting ready to move more to the upside. So our higher time frame bias is bullish. So obviously we're gonna like to trade buys. However, this is not the case because with this scalping strategy, which works almost every single day, you can also take counter trend trades. But remember, counter trend trades, so against the higher time frame, usually work best between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's just based on my statistics, so you can go ahead and test on your own or just listen to what I'm saying. So now that we know price is bullish, we could start looking for some buys. How this scalping strategy works is very simple. We come to the charts every single day just before London open once Asia session closes. So you see right here the blue range is Asia session. So Asia created the high right here. We can go ahead and mark it, but it's not really that important if you're using a script. If you're not using a custom script or anything that marks your session, the Asia session starts from 1 AM UTC +3, ends at 8 AM UTC +3. So you can just mark the high and the low of the range manually. So now comes the fun part. The first thing is we identified Asia range. Second thing we do is we wait for London open to start and then to take out either the Asia high or the Asia low. Because we are trading with our higher time frame, which is bullish, we're gonna have to wait to see if Asia low gets taken out, so then we can look for buys. However, this again works both ways. We can see right here we had an Asia range and we did have a sell setup, but I'm gonna go over that a little bit later. Now let's just focus on this specific day. It's Wednesday, so it's a perfect time to trade this setup. So now we just move forward and wait for Frankfurt to open. We see Frankfurt has opened, ranged, and then look at what London Open does. So remember, London is the green square. So London opens very aggressive and heads directly to take out Asia low. Now, bonus points for this scalping strategy. So bonus points if London Open comes, takes out both Frankfurt and Asia low in one single candle. That's almost a 95% chance that price will reverse. So now you can either use a stop loss and just enter directly, or you can wait for 1 minute confirmation. I'm gonna show you both scenarios. For scenarios when price is coming very aggressive to take out that liquidity, I just like to enter directly after the candle close. So let's say we enter around here. Now this is another important thing that you guys need to pay attention to, which is the stop loss and the take profit. This is gonna be the trade management. But before we go into that, I just want to talk a bit about the setup more. Because again, when Asia range is being formed, that means we created a high and a low for the day until then. So why are we looking for London to take out that high or low? It's simply because it wants to set the daily high or the daily low during London Open. So if London Open comes in and sets the daily low, it's gonna go ahead and set the daily high too. And we see that every single day. So again, entry criteria is gonna be either instant entering the trade with the proper trade management. So for the trade management stop loss, I like to either look to the left and see where we have a low in the market, either 1 hour, 4 hour low. See, we have this 1 hour low right here. So it really depends on how you want to trade and what risk reward you wanna use. In this case, I'll probably be using 8 pip stop loss just because it's more than enough. And for targets, very important, our take profit is always gonna be at the Asia high. I explained that, and this scalping strategy is all based around the Asia range. So we take out Asia low with the Frankfurt low as a bonus with London Open. So we take buys and target the Asia high. And first take profit can actually be at Frankfurt high. So if you have a bigger range like this one with Frankfurt, you can set break even or take profit one at the Frankfurt high, because usually what we can see happen is price during London just rejects, comes for Frankfurt high, and then has another pullback before continuing. So you can set your take profit one at Frankfurt high for a safer option. In this case, it's gonna give us a 1 to 1.44, and Asia high is gonna bring us to a 1 2 3. So why not go for that 1 2 3? So this is gonna be the more aggressive entry where we just enter directly. We have a good stop loss. This works best when higher time frame is in your direction. So because higher time frame is bullish, we can safely enter because we know that's gonna help us a lot. So that's the more aggressive entry. Now let's look at the confirmed 1 minute entry, because this is a scalping strategy. We don't have big stop losses. We can use the 1 minute time frame to enter setups. So what I want to see is a break of structure or just a small 1 minute range after an impulse in my direction. In this case, we see that the 1 minute just came down direct. For a break of structure, we'll have to break this, which is a bit too far. I don't really like it. But look what happened. We took out that liquidity, we came down. We see how price came down. All we have to do, again, if we want to wait for more confirmation and trade this on the 1 minute, which I do recommend you guys, if you are beginners, wait for this confirmation. You just have to wait for 1 minute to start ranging below that Asia low and Frankfurt low. So we see price came down here and then started to range. This is a very good indication with London Open that price is getting ready to reverse. So this was the more aggressive entry. For the safe entry, I'll probably enter once price breaks up. I can just enter right here, and then I will just cover the London low because there's a small chance that price will come back down to take it again. And then same thing, I'm gonna target that Asia high, which in this case is gonna bring me to a bigger risk reward of 1.3.5. And then obviously you can either wait for the retest if you want to be more cautious, right? You want to have more confirmation. You can do whatever works for you, and in that case I'll wait for price to return to the range that it formed. You can see exactly how textbook this setup is, and this happens every day. Like if you go ahead and backtest, this happens every single day. And this setup made me a lot of money. So we have the range, we have a break to the upside, and then we come back to the range during that London Open. So that's perfect, right? You can again enter right here when price comes into the area, and this is gonna give you such a good risk reward. You can just use a higher stop loss, let's say try to stick between 5 to 10 pips, I'd say, for this, and then target the same Asia high. And you can see how this one is gonna give you even a higher risk reward, 1 to 4. So let's see how this continues to play out. You can see price continues to go to the upside, comes very close to Frankfurt high, takes out Frankfurt high. So that's gonna be take profit 1. So let's see, our TP1 is gonna be a 1 to 1.4, or this one 1.1.6, or the confirmed 1 minute entry with a retest, a 1 to 2. You can just cut the trade there and move on to the next trade, or you can just go break even. You can see how price starts to struggle a little bit, but after all it will continue to go up and up and up. And you can see right here it just tapped that Asia high perfectly and then had a rejection. And remember guys, every time price taps Asia high or Asia low, it's gonna give a slight reaction, a slight retracement. So that's why it's best just to have your take profit a little bit lower than that Asia high, just so you make sure you get filled, because you can see the immediate reaction, price just drops back down, which is crazy if you think about it, because it literally just tapped it to the pip and then came down. So it's best to use your take profit, have it, let's say 2-3 pips just below Asia high to give you the proper feel on the take profit, so you can have some successful trades. But this just retested and probably continued again to the upside. Yeah, you can see right here it did continue. All the entries were safe from break even. You wouldn't have been hit at break even because you took the trade below Asia low and targeted Asia high, and you can see how price literally went there. Now this is another setup that occurs on the 5-minute, 15-minute time frame, where you have Asia, the scalping strategy, play out. So Asia low to Asia high, and then you have a retracement down. But I think I'll make another video about this specific setup, because you can easily enter this one right here and target the new high for a very good trade. So this is how I trade this scalping strategy every single day. During London Open, you're gonna have a setup every day. Let's take another look right here, which is a counter trend setup. So right here we can see price still has the same higher time frame bias, which is bullish. However, Asia range is a little bit higher, a bit larger, which is a good thing, and we can look for the same scalping strategy. So let's go down the 5-minute and wait for Frankfurt to open. You see Frankfurt open right there, came close to Asia high. This is amazing. Like when you have this, when Frankfurt just comes very close to Asia high or Asia low, then London opens. If it takes both of them at the same time, it's golden, because it's gonna give a reaction. So let's go on the 1 minute. We're gonna look for a confirmed entry on this one. So we see London just comes up, takes out Frankfurt high and Asia high, and then gives an immediate reaction. So we kind of just hope we're gonna get a retracement before, yeah, you see what I'm talking about. You just need to enter directly. When you have liquidity being taken, you need to enter directly, have like a 10 pip stop loss, look to the left, try to cover something, and then just aim for Asia low. In this case, it's a big range, so 1 to 4, very clean setup. Because what I've noticed from my data scalping this London Open Asia range is that price usually takes out Asia high, Frankfurt high, or Asia low, Frankfurt low, and then immediately goes the other way. So it's not always gonna give you a confirmation. In this case, it just went straight to take profit 1, which is the Frankfurt low, with no confirmed entry. You can see how it kept dropping. So if you miss that initial one, I guess you could, let's say, enter here. But if you enter here, which is at the Asia mid range after price already dropping, is gonna be a riskier entry to try to take out that Asia low. I don't like to enter like this, because I just want the initial reaction, the initial trade. That's the best way it works. You can see this did play out in the end. It did go to take profit, but it's a little bit more stretch, and you can see how many retracements you can have, and this is also moved away from our trading hours. And guys, again, this specific pattern happens every single day, but it needs to happen in the first 1 hour of London Open, because we have two examples here. We can see the first 1 hour of London Open here, it did not take out Asia high or Asia low. What happened when it took out Asia high? It just continued. This works best in the first 1 hour of London Open. Same thing here, you see price did not take Asia high, it did take out Asia low after that 1 hour of London Open, and then it just kind of continued down before reversing to the upside. So that's not a scalping pattern anymore. Same thing here, we can see it came a little bit after London Open and then it went down, which is a little bit more risky. Here you see it did play out, but Frankfurt already took out Asia low before London Open, so price came down a little bit more before reversing towards Asia high. But that can also be a good trade to catch. You can see the same thing right here. Frankfurt took out Asia high first, and then when London took out Frankfurt high, then we played around a little bit more before dropping. This is another very good clean example where we have Frankfurt low very close to Asia low. London Open comes in, takes out the lows with a higher time frame, and then just explodes to the upside. Here we have the same setup. The previous day we had Asia low, Frankfurt low, London Open came in, took out Frankfurt low, Asia low, and then immediately went to the upside. So another clean setup. Simplifying trading is what made me a millionaire, and I know I can make you too, and that is exactly why I started this YouTube channel and why I'm making free videos to teach you guys how to trade and how to actually be profitable without complicating stuff. Now if you want more than that, I do have a mentorship. I'll leave a link in the description. In the mentorship, I'll trade with you live, review every trade you take. You get complete access to the strategy that I use every single day, and also how to successfully become a funded trader. The way I did it to manage $6 million in prop firm capital and make over $1.5 million in the last few years. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the channel because in the next few weeks I will drop the best free course you'll ever see. Literally other trading gurus are charging probably up to $10,000 for the information that I'm gonna share to you guys for free. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you for watching once again.